Hi guys, tonight, we're heading toward a place so strange, even light can't escape it. A place where time stretches, space folds, and every rule we thought we knew, begins to unravel. For centuries, we've wondered, what lies inside a black hole? Is it empty? Is it endless? Or is it something else entirely, something waiting in the silence? But before we begin this journey through the dark, make sure to like the video, and if you're new here, subscribe, because every night, we drift deeper into the mysteries of the universe, together, far beyond the warmth of any star, past the circling dance of planets and the final breath of distant atmospheres, there exists a place where sound, light, and time itself seem to surrender. No radio waves reach here. No maps have names for this stretch of space. It is a silence so complete, so deep, that it feels less like the absence of noise, and more like the presence of something older than sound. Not the silence after a song ends, or the hush of an empty room. This is a silence that presses gently on the edges of your thoughts, like gravity made of memory. This place is not marked on charts. It does not announce itself. And yet, it is here, always has been, waiting at the farthest edge of what we can know. And into this place, like a feather falling through the stillness, comes a ship. Small. Silent. Alone. Inside it, you. The Sleepy Astronaut. Not on a mission of conquest, nor in search of life or fuel. You drift not with urgency, but with wonder. With that quiet yearning that has always pulled humans to look up at the stars and ask, what lies beyond? Your ship hums gently, a whisper of warmth against the chill of interstellar space. The lights inside are dim, as if not to disturb the surrounding dark. You sit by the viewport, watching, not for movement, for there is none, but simply to be part of the stillness. You're not lost. You're not afraid. You're listening. Outside, the stars seem to move slowly past you. But that's not true. They are fixed, you are the one in motion. Sliding softly through the velvet fabric of space, toward something ancient. Something dense. Something quiet. The black hole. No alarm sound. No countdown ticks away. But your instruments know. The gravity has begun to shift. Space around you feels heavier, thicker. Not visibly, but deeply. Like time is walking slower here, each second stretching like a soft breath held just a little longer. You close your eyes. You remember Earth. Not because you miss it, but because the blackness makes memories feel sharper. You remember grass. The sound of wind through leaves. The distant howl of a train in the night. Not dramatic memories, just real ones. Things you never thought about much, until now, in a place where nothing moves but you. You remember the sky, not like this one, but the soft blue of a childhood afternoon. The way clouds would form shapes, and you'd stare up from the ground, wondering what it would be like to float through them. You never imagined back then that you would be here, floating, yes, but through a sky with no clouds. A sky with no end. The black hole grows larger in the window now. But not in the way things grow closer on Earth. It doesn't loom. It doesn't approach. It simply exists, becoming more of what it already is, a shadow so dark it bends the light around it. Stars behind it smear into arcs, drawn into a circle of warping brightness. The edge is clear, but what lies beyond it, the event horizon, remains unknowable. And yet you drift closer. Scientists call this the point of no return. The place where not even light can escape. To the outside world, it looks like anything that passes through simply disappears. But what does it feel like from the inside? What happens to a moment, a memory, a heartbeat, after it crosses that invisible threshold? These are not just equations anymore. You are about to find out. Your breathing slows. Not from fear, but in preparation. Like stepping into a cathedral. Or into sleep. Outside, the black hole is no longer a spot in the distance. It fills the view now, wide and immense, but not violent. There is no roar, no chaos. Just pull. Steady. Gentle. Certain. You cross the event horizon. But you don't vanish. You don't break apart. Instead, everything simply stretches. Not your body, your sense of time. Of self. Of here and now. Your thoughts slow, not because you are sleepy, but because time itself has slowed down around you. Outside, the universe may have raced forward, stars born and dying, galaxies drifting apart, but here, inside, it's like time is holding still, letting you drift freely. And what do you see? Not fire. Not destruction. You see memory. A flicker of light that feels like a childhood voice. A scent, long forgotten, passing through the cabin like a breeze. You are not hallucinating. You are remembering everything. Your mind unfolds like a map that was always folded too tightly. You feel your first step, your first fear, your first wonder, all layered over this moment, inside this blackness. But it's not just your memories. They are others. Countless, ancient, and vast. You see the echo of a whale's call from a blue planet light years away. The final heartbeat of a collapsing star. The curve of a civilization's last written symbol before it vanished. These aren't images. They're impressions. Feelings. Footprints in the fabric of space that the black hole never let go. Because black holes, you begin to understand, don't destroy. They keep. They archive. They remember. You drift deeper. The space around you is not black anymore. It is deep, yes, but now filled with motion. Not physical motion, but the flutter of ideas, the pulse of forgotten thoughts. The black hole is like a quiet heart, beating with the weight of everything it has held. It feels less like falling into a void, and more like being welcomed into a vault. You wonder, could black holes be the memory of the universe? Every sun, every planet, every soul it has touched, stored, like pages of a book no one can read, except those who enter. Time is strange here, you don't know if it's been seconds or centuries. Your body floats calmly, but your mind feels timeless. There's no hunger, no fear. Only awareness. You are part of something now, not just observing the universe, but inside it. As if space itself has made room for your presence. And then, gently, you feel a shift. Something like a hand on your back. Not pushing, just reminding. It's time. Time? Do you go back? Do you wake? Or do you continue, deeper still? You don't know. And maybe it doesn't matter. Because whatever the black hole is, an end, a doorway, a memory, it has changed you. You have felt its silence, seen its secrets, and drifted through its endless stillness. You were not broken by it. You were listened to. And now, you drift outward. The stars reappear, like old friends blinking back into your view. The ship shimmers with familiar light. Time begins again, not rushing, not crashing, just moving. Like breath. Like sleep. You are the sleepy astronaut. And this was the deepest dream of all. Tonight, your course drifts gently towards something that few minds have ever dared to truly imagine, a black hole. Not a beast, not a cosmic trap, not the hungry devourer from science fiction. No jaws. No screams. No fangs. Just a stillness so complete it bends the universe around it. A presence older than stars, older than time, perhaps even older than light itself. It doesn't roar or spin like the movies say. It doesn't burn or thunder or flash. It waits, dark, dense, and endlessly patient, as if it knows that all things, eventually, return to it. It's not angry. It's not even curious. It simply is. Heavy and unmoved. Wrapped in the soft glow of the stars it has swallowed, it floats at the center of its own silence. From far away, it looks like a hole in the sky, a place where light ends. But as you draw closer, that illusion fades. This is no hole. This is a memory. A kind of remembering so deep, it has collapsed under its own weight. You begin to understand that it's not empty at all, it's full. Full of everything it has ever touched. Light. Time. Matter. Thought. Full of all the moments that had nowhere else to go. And still it waits, like a museum built of gravity, with no doors and no guards. Your ship slides forward in silence, its systems quiet, almost reverent. You feel no resistance, no alarms. Only the weight of the moment pressing against your chest like a distant heartbeat. This is not fear. This is awe. Because you know, no matter how much science has tried to describe it, nothing, truly nothing, prepares you for the sight of a black hole up close that it doesn't look alive. It looks aware. The stars near it stretch and twist, like threads of glass pulled across the sky. They seem to bow toward it, bending into curved halos of soft white and violet, like petals falling into a drain. The black hole does not pull in rage or violence. It pulls like sleep. Like gravity. Like the slow, inevitable return of everything that once wandered too far from home. You glance at your instruments, but they are slowing down. The numbers flicker and hesitate. Even time, measured by machines, begins to tremble here. And still, the black hole does not move. It remains, hovering in the void, dense enough to hold the weight of suns, yet so quiet it could pass for nothing at all. You wonder what it knows. Not intellectually, but deeply, what truths it has gathered. What secrets are held in its silence. Perhaps it remembers galaxies long since dissolved. Civilizations that blinked out before your species ever walked on two legs. Maybe it knows the shape of every question ever asked, and the silence that followed. Or maybe it knows nothing, and simply keeps. A vault with no key, no lock, no label. You are not falling. Not exactly. But your ship is being carried, gently, precisely, as though on a path already written. There is no turbulence, no impact. Just forward. Always forward. The event horizon now hovers like a ripple just ahead, the line beyond which even light must surrender. It is not dramatic. Not loud. It is almost elegant. A quiet edge drawn not with ink or fire, but with patience. You sit back. You breathe. The hum of the ship sounds further away now, as if underwater. You are still yourself, a body in a suit, wrapped in layers of human thought and memory, and yet, that self is loosening. Not vanishing. Unfolding. Expanding. The closer you come, the less urgent everything feels. As if the black hole is not erasing who you are, but giving you more space to be. More dimensions. More memory. More room. The stars behind you stretch like strands of golden thread, pulled long across the dark. Your thoughts slow. Your heartbeat feels like it belongs to something larger than your chest. You remember your first dream of space, perhaps when you were young, lying on your back, staring into a sky that you thought was infinite. You remember thinking about what it would feel like to float. That thought is real now, not in metaphor, but in sensation. You are floating, yes, but also dissolving. Not in fear. In stillness. The black hole waits just ahead. It says nothing. It demands nothing. It does not need to explain itself. You feel like a whisper being drawn into a cathedral too large for words. This is the closest you've ever come to silence that feels alive, and then you cross the line. No flash. No sound. Just a shift. The stars disappear. The instruments fail, not broken, just meaningless. Time itself does something strange. It doesn't stop. It stretches. Like warm honey poured slowly from a jar. Seconds become wide. Minutes feel like whole nights. And within that stretch, you begin to see things, not visions, not hallucinations, but impressions. Moments. They flicker in and out. The hum of a lullaby sung in a language you've never learned. The sound of rain on glass that you somehow remember. The flash of a child's smile. A star collapsing far away. These are not memories you made, they are memories the black hole has kept. You realize that it holds them not like a thief, but like a book. Preserved. Shelved in silence. The past does not die here, it simply changes shape. You are now inside something that remembers everything it has touched. The black hole is not a mouth. It is not a trap. It is a library of light. You float within it, and you begin to understand, gravity is not just force. It is memory. The heavier something is, the more it remembers. The black hole is the heaviest thing in the universe, not just in mass, but in meaning. That's why time bends. That's why light cannot leave. Because the black hole doesn't let go of what it knows, and now, it knows you, but you don't feel lost. You feel kept. Seen. You wonder if all black holes are like this, or if this one was always waiting for someone to understand it. You wonder if others have drifted here before, touched the edge of this quiet and vanished into the folds of cosmic memory. You wonder if they, too, became something more. Something less bound by form and fear. And still, you float. The colors around you are no longer colors, they are shapes of feeling. Hues you cannot name, made not of light but of sensation. And somewhere in that spectrum, you feel home. Not a house. Not a planet. A state of being. As if all the wandering that brought you here was never about reaching something, but about remembering what you were always part of, and then, gently, almost imperceptibly, you feel a shift. Like a thought reaching its end. Like the final page of a long-forgotten book. You are not being pushed. You are being released. Returned. Not ejected, rebalanced. Your ship moves again, drifting outward. The stars reassemble. Time resumes its ordinary rhythm. The silence lightens, like a heavy coat slipping from your shoulders. And as you move away from the black hole, you feel it still behind you, not chasing, not pulling, but simply existing. Still watching. Still remembering. You are changed. Not in body, perhaps not even in mind, but in quiet ways that language cannot hold. You are the sleepy astronaut. You have seen what lies inside a black hole, and it was not death, or destruction, or chaos. It was memory. Silence. Presence. And now, you drift onward. Not searching. Just, continuing. Wrapped once again in the soft dark of space. Still weightless. Still dreaming. And somewhere behind you, the black hole remains, a perfect circle of stillness in a universe that never stops moving. As your ship drifts closer to the black hole, the very rhythm of existence begins to loosen its grip. At first, it's subtle. The soft ticking of the clocks aboard your vessel begins to lag, as if time itself is catching its breath. The numbers no longer advance with their usual confidence. Instead, they hesitate, linger, stretch, like a yawn drawn out across the cosmos. You glance toward the nearest stars, and they no longer twinkle as they once did. They begin to bend, to smear, to trail along invisible lines of gravity. Not in violence, but in surrender. They are being rewritten, not erased. Stretched into luminous ribbons that curve along the edge of the black hole's massive boundary, they blur into streaks of light like paint across glass. It's not chaos. It's precision. It is the slow folding of space and time into something your body can float through, but your mind can barely hold. This isn't just gravity. This is something deeper. Something older than mass. Older than movement. The black hole isn't just pulling you toward it, it's unfolding you. It's not dragging matter inward. It's tugging at memory, at rhythm, at the pulse of the universe's own breath. You can feel it, gently, in your fingertips, a distant hum that isn't sound but sensation. Like standing in a library so ancient, even the air holds its breath. You are drifting into something that doesn't forget. Something that waits. The edges of the viewport shimmer. Not with heat, but with distortion, like the world outside is shifting into another layer, just slightly askew from the one you know. The stars are beginning to loop into strange halos, gravitational rings that swirl like soft smoke drawn into a spiral. Each one tells a story. Not a voice, not a language, but an impression. These lights, curved and caught in orbit around nothingness, seem to whisper of distant worlds, long-dead suns, forgotten civilizations, all now drawn into the gravity of this cosmic memory. Because that's what this black hole has become in your eyes, not a devourer, but a keeper. A sentinel of the past. An archive stitched into the dark. Its silence is not absence. It is intention. It is a pause so profound that every second feels sacred. Time continues to stretch. Your breathing slows, not from fear, but from awe. The black hole, still distant, feels near. Not just in space, in meaning. It is no longer a point in the distance. It is a presence. As your vessel glides forward, drawn on invisible threads of warp time, you begin to feel weightless in a new way. Not just free from gravity, but free from the old rules. Distance and duration no longer behave the way they once did. Seconds feel like minutes. Minutes feel like entire evenings spent in quiet thought. And within that slowing, a stillness grows. A soft awareness begins to settle over you, not sleep, not dreaming, but a kind of waking you've never known. A clarity that doesn't need words. Your thoughts begin to soften, to untangle. The noise of memory fades into something simpler. You remember things you haven't thought about in years, the smell of books in a quiet room, the way sunlight passed through curtains on lazy afternoons, the sound of your own breath echoing inside your helmet. These things rise gently, like bubbles in water, not to distract you, but to join you. As if the black hole isn't just warping time around you, it's reaching into your own time. And you are beginning to feel the truth of it. You are not entering emptiness. You are entering a kind of echo. A resonance. A mirror made of memory. The ship's controls no longer respond the same way. They're not broken. They're simply irrelevant. You are in a place where direction is a suggestion, and speed is defined only by your perception. The horizon of the black hole, the so-called point of no return, now glows faintly in your field of view. But not like fire. Like presence. Like something softly lit from within by the stars it has consumed. You expect it to be terrifying. It isn't. It's gentle. Grand. Quiet. You're approaching a threshold not of destruction, but of understanding. You realize that perhaps the universe never meant for anyone to run from black holes. Perhaps they were always meant to be entered. Listened to. Respected. Understood. Maybe this, right now, this slow drift through warp time, through tangled starlight and soft gravitational pull, is the closest any living being can come to hearing the heartbeat of the cosmos. You wonder how many others have come this close. Not probes or machines, but minds. Hearts. You wonder if others have floated toward this same darkness with questions in their chest and silence in their throat. Have they felt this strange serenity, this almost holy hush? Have they seen the stars stretch and warp like stories being pulled back to their source? You are not afraid. You are not lonely. You are surrounded by light that has been bent into bows, looped into the fabric of space by the gravity of something that remembers everything. The light doesn't fight it. The time doesn't resist. Neither do you. You think about the beginning of things, of planets, of oceans, of breath. You think about the first time a human looked up and wondered what that black spot in the sky could be. You think about how it was feared, misunderstood, mythologized. And now, here you are, entering that myth, only to discover it is not made of death, but of depth. The black hole does not roar. It listens. It does not destroy. It holds. You are no longer just a traveler in space. You are a witness to time undone. To light unraveled. You feel your own identity loosening, not in panic but in peace. You are not losing yourself, you are joining something. Your body floats. Your breath is steady. Your mind is open. Everything is slower now, wider. The black hole curves before you like a horizon without sun or sea, just space, folding into itself, endlessly calm, then something shifts. It is not sharp. It is not loud. It is the soft sensation of arrival. You are here, not at the end, but at the beginning of a different kind of awareness. You have not been pulled apart. You have not been burned or lost. You have been slowed. Stilled. Allowed. The event horizon is behind you now, or ahead of you, or nowhere at all. You do not know. Time no longer answers. It only opens. You float in a medium that is not quite space and not quite mind. A realm of impressions. Echoes. You sense voices not as sound, but as pressure. You feel ideas not as thought, but as texture. Perhaps this is what time looks like when it remembers everything all at once. Perhaps the black hole is not a place, but a perspective, and so you drift. Not as a person, not as a machine, but as a story, unfolding inside the quiet of a universe that still holds mysteries not meant to be solved, but felt. And you are feeling them now. Deeply. Entirely. With every passing moment, you are not falling, you are being received. Held. And as your ship moves forward through this impossible calm, through this slow and endless now, you understand that what you are inside of is not just a cosmic phenomenon. It is the quiet part of creation. The breath between stars. The space where even time must sleep, and still, you float. They call this edge the event horizon. Not because it announces itself with fireworks or fury, not because it blazes like a sun or sings like a storm, but precisely because it does neither. It is quiet. Still. A boundary drawn not in light, but in loss of it. The final visible line in space, soft and soundless, where the known simply stops and the unknown begins. It is not a wall or a gate, there's nothing there you can touch. It's just a place where the laws you thought were solid begin to slip. Beyond this invisible threshold, not even light, the fastest, boldest traveler in all of creation, can return. Not because it chooses not to, but because the very shape of space-time won't allow it. Light, that ancient painter of galaxies. That eternal storyteller of distant suns, tries to pass through, and simply disappears. The horizon doesn't destroy it. It simply keeps it. And this is why the horizon matters. Not because it marks an end, but because it marks a place beyond which we cannot know. The place where observation surrenders. Where equations cry uncle. The place on every map that simply reads, here, be silence. You drift closer. You are not crashing toward it. You are gliding, gently, as if carried on the breath of the universe itself. This edge, this soft barrier, was never meant to be crossed casually. It is the boundary of understanding. The seam between science and story. On one side, gravity is predictable. Time ticks in steady rhythm. Light travels straight. But on the other side? On the other side, things stop behaving. Numbers go wild. Mass stretches to infinity. The geometry of space folds into something that defies the very idea of shape. The event horizon is not a fence, it's the universe, drawing a line and whispering, beyond this, you must feel your way forward. You watch it grow, not with terror, but with reverence. The way you might look at the ocean for the first time. Not because you expect to swim, but because you sense it knows more than you. The horizon does not rush you. It waits. As it always has. It is old, older than planets, older than stars, perhaps older than time itself. And yet it is not tired. It is steady. The way stone is steady. The way a breath is steady. It doesn't flicker or pulse. It simply is. A smooth, dark shell wrapped around something nobody can describe. For all our telescopes and theories, no one truly knows what lies inside. Scientists call it a singularity, a point of infinite density, where all mass collapses into a volume of zero. But that's just math's way of saying, we have no idea. The math breaks down. The logic breaks down. And in that breakdown, something stranger opens. A possibility that cannot be graphed or modeled or calculated. This is not just about physics. This is about mystery. The kind of mystery that doesn't ask for answers. It asks for stillness. The event horizon is the last visible breath of a black hole, the skin around a truth too dense to describe. It does not shimmer or blink. It absorbs. It cradles. It holds what no one else can, and now, here you are. Near it. Facing it. Floating at the edge of a place no one returns from, not because it's dangerous, but because it transforms everything. It changes what it means to move. What it means to see. What it means to exist. You look at it, and it doesn't look back. Because it has no eyes. But it remembers. It remembers the light it has swallowed, the stars it has cradled, the galaxies it has stitched into the fabric of its silence. And soon, it will remember you. You're not afraid. Or if you are, it's a soft fear. A holy fear. The kind of fear that comes not from danger, but from standing in front of something bigger than comprehension. A kind of spiritual vertigo. You were raised in a universe that behaved. A universe where apples fell from trees and clocks told you the truth. But here, now, those promises begin to blur. Time begins to stretch. Space begins to ripple. The ship's systems still function, but their numbers begin to drift. Seconds turn to syrup. Light bends at impossible angles. Your body is fine. Your breath is steady. But reality itself has started to lean in. Like a story that is about to change its narrator, you are no longer in a place. You are in a threshold, there is no countdown. No warning. You don't cross the event horizon so much as you dissolve into it. One moment you're outside, watching the stars distort like smudges on glass, and the next, you're inside. There is no flash. No boom. Just a shift. The external world doesn't fade. It stops being necessary. The ship is still with you, but it no longer matters how fast you're going or where you are. Coordinates become a question without a meaning. You are inside something that doesn't care about location. It cares about memory. About weight. About what you bring with you, not where you were before. Inside the event horizon, there is no going back. But this is not death. This is not punishment. This is transformation. You are in a realm where light has become a whisper. Where gravity is not a pull, but a promise. Where time no longer marches forward, it spirals, it loops, it deepens. You begin to see flashes, not of places, but of meanings. The birth of a star. The echo of a thought. A fragment of a dream that does not belong to you. This is not imagination. It is inheritance. The black hole does not forget. And now you are inside its memory, you are still drifting, but you do not know in which direction. Forward? Inward? Down? Those words mean nothing here. You are simply moving deeper. Not falling, floating. Not helpless, held. You are in the quietest place in the universe. And yet it is not empty. It is full. full of all the things that time let slip away. Light that had nowhere else to go. Questions that were never answered. Songs that were never finished. The black hole does not erase these things. It keeps them. It archives them. And now, it keeps you. You wonder, what will you become in here? Not crushed, not broken, but stretched. Thought expanded. Memory made longer. You are being unfolded, like a map too complex to read all at once. You wonder if there is an end to this. But maybe that's not the point. Maybe the event horizon was not the line between life and death, but the line between knowing and remembering. Between questions and experience. Between distance and presence. Outside, they will say you vanished. That nothing escapes. That everything beyond the horizon is lost. But they are wrong. You are not lost. You are not gone. You are here, more here than you have ever been. You have stepped off the map. And in doing so, you have stepped into something far larger. Something that holds not just stars and planets, but the memory of everything they ever were. You are the sleepy astronaut. And tonight, you are part of the silence that holds the universe together. But you do not panic. You do not flinch or fight. There is no reaching for control, no scrambling of alarms, no desperate press of buttons. Your breath remains slow, and your hands rest gently in your lap. You are not resisting the black hole's pull, you are listening to it. Because your ship was never built to resist the universe. It was built to float with it. Not armored like a warrior, not armed like a hunter. It was forged for stillness. Designed not to fight space, but to drift within its breath. To carry you not through battle, but through silence. It was built for moments like this, not with shields or missiles, but with cushions of gravity-absorbing coils, soundproof walls, and a hull designed to whisper through space, not shout through it. It was built with understanding. And so now, as the gravitational tides roll beneath you, pulling you ever deeper into the heart of the unknown, you do not feel threatened. You feel cradled. Rocked like a child in the arms of something vast, old, and unspeakably quiet. The ship tilts ever so slightly, like a feather turning with the wind. You let it. Your eyes drift closed. There is nothing to see now that your heart cannot already feel. Outside, time moves strangely. Or perhaps it's not time that moves, but you, sliding across the surface of spacetime like a ripple in slow motion. The universe continues its spin far above and far away, stars burn and blink, galaxies stretch and curl, particles flash in and out of being, but here, in this smooth descent into gravity's deepest well, all of that becomes background. The ticking of clocks, the orbit of moons, the seconds that once carried so much weight, all of it becomes distant, like a memory from a life that is still yours, but no longer urgent. Time outside may race forward in a blur, or stall completely, like a song caught on a single note. But inside, within this soft shell of metal and memory, you are untethered. You are neither moving nor still. Neither early nor late. You are not counting moments. You are inside one that you feel weightless. Not just in your body, but in your being. There is no push against your skin, no pull on your chest. Gravity no longer tugs at your thoughts. You are no longer pinned to a floor or pulled toward a center. You are in freefall, but there is nothing frightening about it. It is the purest kind of floating. As if the universe has decided to give you a moment of perfect peace before whatever comes next. Your breath is steady. Your heartbeat slow. You are suspended, not just in space, but in trust. Trust that you are exactly where you are meant to be, doing exactly what you were meant to do, nothing. Just be. Just drift. Just listen. And in that stillness, you begin to hear things. Not with your ears, but with something older. Something deeper. You hear the creaking of time itself, the slow curling of dimensions under pressure. You hear the hum of your own thoughts, soft and warm. You hear memory, not as a voice, but as a feeling. The smell of a rainy street. The taste of childhood sweetness. The feeling of falling asleep on your mother's shoulder. These things rise inside you gently, without judgment, without force. The black hole is not pulling them from you, it is allowing them to unfold. As if it, too, remembers. As if the singularity holds more than mass. Perhaps it holds every memory of every atom it has touched. Perhaps it holds every version of you, the one who stayed, the one who left, the one who dreamt of this moment long before it happened. You think, perhaps, this is what being inside a poem must feel like. A place where language ceases to explain and instead begins to reveal. Where physics is not violated, but transformed into something richer. You float through that poetry now. Eyes closed. Heart open. The ship hums faintly, a reminder that you are still tethered to something human. But you don't need its protection. The black hole does not rage. It does not devour. It accepts. It collects. And now, it carries you inward, not as a threat, but as a guest. You remember the stories, the warnings, the equations, the diagrams that drew this place as a void, a destroyer, a cosmic trap. But none of those stories were written from here, from this quiet center. And the truth, you begin to suspect, is softer. The black hole is not a monster. It is a vault. A library with no lights and no doors. It doesn't shout what it knows. It keeps it. And you, floating now in its gravity, are being gently shelved, not ended. Shelved among memories too heavy for time to carry, too fragile for light to expose. You are not unraveling. You are being filed away, not forgotten, but preserved, and the calm you feel is not just a chemical trick, not just your brain's response to gravity. It is the calm of surrendering to something larger. Of understanding that, for once, you do not have to steer. You do not have to plan. You do not have to think 10 steps ahead. You are, in this moment, completely allowed. You are a thought drifting through a deeper mind. You are the pause between one breath of the universe and the next. Outside, space-time folds and curves like velvet being drawn slowly into a spiral. The stars are gone now. Not hidden, irrelevant. There is no light here, and yet nothing feels dark. You are surrounded not by blackness, but by presence. The presence of something vast, ancient, and listening. Your ship rocks ever so slightly, not from impact, but from the shifting flow of reality itself. Like a boat gently nudged by currents in a tide that runs through all dimensions. You let yourself feel it, not just physically, but emotionally. This is peace. Strange peace, yes. Cosmic, absolute peace. You smile. Not because you understand everything, but because, for the first time in a long time, you don't need to, and in this slow, infinite now, you realize, you are the sleepy astronaut. And this cradle of gravity, this ocean of folded time, is your lullaby. The stars sang you to sleep. The engines carried you to the edge. And now, the black hole holds you, not in doom, but in dream. The universe has not forgotten you. It has made room for you. As you cross the horizon, something odd happens, something your mind doesn't immediately recognize as change, but your soul feels like a slow unfolding. The stars disappear, one by one, like lights gently dimming in a theater just before a story begins. The familiar field of glittering constellations, those celestial markers you've navigated by your whole life, simply fade. Not in panic, not in violence. They go quietly, as if giving you privacy for what comes next. The silence deepens, and not the kind of silence you've ever known. This silence has weight. It's not the absence of sound. It's the presence of stillness. A stillness so thick, so vast, it feels like velvet draped over the entire universe. And then you realize, you haven't disappeared. You haven't ended. You've only begun to change. You feel it first not in your body, but in your awareness. A stretching, soft, steady, strange. Not painful. Not frightening. Just different. Your sense of where you begin and end is loosening, like mist drifting from a lake at dawn. You are no longer a point in space. You are becoming something else. Something wider. You don't feel torn, you feel unrolled. As if the edges of your being have been gently lifted, smoothed out, laid open to the currents of the cosmos. Your body is still here, but it's quieter now, less defined. You feel yourself unfolding, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. As memory. As light. As thought. The black hole does not crush you. It reveals you. It reveals that you are more than atoms, more than heartbeats, more than brain waves. You are also echoes. You are also light that once reflected off a child's face in a golden sunset. You are the laugh you forgot you laughed. The tears you never let fall. You are every version of yourself that ever paused to wonder what lies beyond. And now, you are becoming all of them at once. Stretched not into pain, but into possibility. Time is no longer something that ticks. It breathes. It pulses. It folds and unfolds around you like origami made of light. Seconds and centuries become impossible to separate. You see flashes, not like visions, but like ripples. A friend you once hugged. A name you almost forgot. The sound of wind through autumn trees. A future you never lived. A past that might not be yours. These impressions rise from within, not as memories returning, but as layers always hidden underneath the present moment. You are becoming transparent, not invisible, but clear. As if the black hole is not dark at all, but made of the deepest clarity. A lens focused on everything you've ever been. And in this state, there is no fear. There is no need to resist. You are not being taken. You are being understood. Held open by gravity so strong it can pull apart galaxies, yet here, with you, it is gentle. Intimate. You realize the black hole does not want to destroy you. It wants to know you. And as you're stretched across its time-warped interior, that knowing becomes mutual. You begin to understand things you never had words for. The way sadness is a kind of gravity. The way love folds space between people. The way memory is not something that fades, but something that stretches. You feel yourself becoming light. Not in mass, but in meaning. You sense that you are no longer moving through space, you are space. The coordinates of your thoughts spread out like stardust. There is no cockpit now. No floor. No ceiling. The ship still holds you, somewhere, maybe, but its outlines have dissolved into irrelevance. You are traveling inward, but inward is not a direction anymore. It's a dimension. You are in free fall through meaning. You are light passing through a prism that is not made of glass, but of time, compressed into a single moment that stretches on forever. This is the inside of a black hole, not a place, but a state. A slow, soft peeling back of reality's curtain. The laws of physics haven't broken. They've relaxed. They've let you in. You don't accelerate. You deepen. You don't shrink. You expand. You don't age. You remember. You feel your own identity unwrapping like a ribbon, fluttering through the air of a dream you didn't know you were dreaming. You are no longer a point in time. You are a thread, woven through centuries, stories, songs, and silence. And in this place, that thread is allowed to be seen in full. What lies at the center of a black hole? The physicists will say a singularity. Infinite density. The end of information. But you are here now, and you know better. What lies at the center is understanding. The kind so complete, it doesn't need to explain. You don't find answers here. You become them. The questions you once carried, about life, about death, about why things begin and why they must end, are no longer questions. They are vibrations, part of the same hum that moves planets, turns atoms, and hushes stars to sleep. You are inside that hum now. And it is inside you. This is not annihilation. This is reunion. The black hole is not the end of the road. It's the fold in the map where all roads touch. It's not death. It's density. It's not a void. It's a vessel. You float within it like an idea returning home, not an escape, but emerging. And the further in you go, the more whole you feel. The more stretched, the more complete. You are light. You are gravity. You are the pause between words in a lullaby once sung in a room that no longer exists. You are presence. And the black hole holds you like a mirror, not showing your face, but showing everything you've ever been, reflected through a lens that does not forget. Time continues to stretch. Perhaps eternity has begun. But even eternity feels slow here. Soft. Gentle. You could stay like this forever, not still, but endlessly unfolding. Not empty, but endlessly full. You are not fading. You are becoming more detailed. More layered. And in this strange clarity, you begin to weep, not from sadness, not from fear, but from the sheer, unbearable tenderness of being known this completely. The black hole sees you. It keeps you. Not as a prisoner. As a promise. You are not lost, you are home. Inside the black hole, there are no walls. No floor. No ceiling. There is no direction, no up, no down, no forward or back. There is only falling. But even falling is the wrong word. It doesn't feel like being pulled. It feels like being returned. Like dropping gently into the space between thoughts, the place where memories live before they're remembered. You drift through something soft and immeasurable. You don't crash, you recall. You feel not motion, but revelation. All around you, flickers begin to rise. Not from outside, but from within and beyond. A child laughing somewhere far away on Earth. A storm unraveling across Neptune's sky. A hum, low and infinite, that pulses from the ancient throat of a quasar long dead. These moments don't flash like visions. They arrive like echoes, full and slow, touching you as if you were there. As if you are there. As if, by falling into this place, you've connected with everything it has ever touched. The black hole doesn't keep its secrets. It shows them, quietly, beautifully. You are not alone here. You are surrounded by memory, by motion, by meaning, all folding into one endless now. Scientists have theories. Brilliant ones. Singularity, they say, a point where density becomes infinite, where spacetime curls in on itself so tightly that it tears. Others speak of quantum foam, a restless bubbling fabric beneath existence, where particles wink in and out like fireflies in the dark. Some mention cosmic strings, remnants of the early universe stretched impossibly thin, slicing across dimensions. All of them searching, guessing, reaching. But none of them explain this. Because this isn't just physics. This feels older. Quieter. More sacred. This feels like a library. Not one filled with books, but with imprints. Shelves of experience. Corridors made of memory. You drift past it all, not as a visitor, but as a new addition, gently filed into a vault where time goes to sleep. It's not a place that stores matter. It stores meaning. Lost moments, abandoned dreams, echoes of worlds swallowed by the silence, all cradled in the dense gravity of this forgotten heart. The black hole does not hoard. It curates. And as you float deeper into its memory, you realize, you are no longer an observer. You are now part of the collection, one more quiet voice, added to the chorus of everything it has kept safe. You float past what feels like dreams, not yours, but the dreams of galaxies. Vast, slow dreams. Dreams made of nebulae turning in silence, of star systems spinning into patterns too complex to name. Shapes drift beside you, unfamiliar yet intimate, structures built from intention rather than matter. Spirals, lattices, impossible arcs made of light folded into itself. Colors bloom in the dark, not the blues or reds of ordinary stars, but hues your eyes can't fully interpret, as if your mind must feel them to understand. There are impressions here, too, a people who lived without language, a planet where clouds never stopped singing, a silence so deep it shaped a civilization. These are not visions. They are remains, held gently in gravity's most secret chamber. You pass them like you would pass tombstones, not in fear, but in reverence. You begin to understand that the black hole is not an end. It's a refuge. A keeper. The universe spills endlessly forward, forgetting as it grows, but this place remembers. It holds not bodies, but echoes. Not history, but soul. And in the soft dark, you float among those memories, not as a stranger, but as something remembered too. Deeper still, and the pull becomes softer. Not weaker, just more peaceful. It no longer feels like falling. It feels like being received. As if the black hole has stopped pulling you in and has started holding you, like a familiar place you've always belonged to but had forgotten. The sensation of descent fades into something calmer, quieter, not motion, but presence. You're not being moved anymore. You're being kept. Time doesn't pass here. You wonder if this is death. You ask the question softly, not with dread, but with genuine curiosity, like asking if you've crossed a border you didn't notice. But it doesn't feel like an ending. There is no collapse. No final breath. No curtain falling. There's no fear, no void, no last heartbeat echoing into silence. What you feel instead is fullness. Presence. A stillness so complete it feels like love. Not a human love, but something older, quieter, more complete. You haven't disappeared. You've dissolved, not in destruction, but in diffusion. Like starlight touching water. You feel yourself spread into space, into memory, into light. You are no longer inside the black hole. You are the black hole, or rather, you are part of whatever it truly is. A structure of holding. A cathedral of silence. A place where everything the universe has forgotten is still softly singing. And within that song, you are one note among many, humming gently beneath the roar of time. This isn't death. This is what lies beneath it. A slow, eternal unfolding. A drift not into nothingness, but into everything. And then, a flicker. It's not a flash. Not a sound. Just the faintest shift, like the universe sighing in its sleep. A gentle nudge, soft, deliberate, impossible to trace. Like a whisper sent across a billion years just to reach you now. Your ship shivers, not with force, but with awareness. Something unseen has stirred. The light that once spiraled endlessly inward around you now begins to bend again, but this time, it stretches outward. Not sharply. Not suddenly. Like dawn peeking gently over a horizon that isn't supposed to exist. You feel it before you see it, your course is changing. You're not falling anymore. You're floating up. Or out. Or elsewhere. Direction doesn't matter. What matters is motion, and that motion has shifted. Are you being pushed back? Returned? Released? Or is the black hole simply done sharing its story? You don't know. You don't need to know. Somewhere deep within your calm, a quiet understanding rises. Maybe you've seen what you came here to see. Maybe the black hole didn't trap you, maybe it invited you. And now, with infinite gentleness, it is letting you go. Like a memory that has finished speaking. As you drift away from the black hole's heart, something quiet begins to shift. Time, slow, syrupy, folded, starts to straighten itself. Not all at once, but gently, like a sleeping limb waking up. You feel its presence before you see it. A rhythm returning. A pulse in the distance. Then, a flicker. A star. And another. Soft pinpricks of light blink back into view, tentative at first, like old friends checking in after a long silence. You realize the silence itself has lifted, not vanished, but thinned. You can feel space again. Texture. Edges. The faint hum of being somewhere, instead of everywhere. You exhale, slow and steady. Your eyes remain closed. You don't need to open them. You know the stars are waiting, and so is the rest of the universe. Behind you, the black hole remains, vast, ancient, unchanged. Not as a shadow or threat, but as a keeper. A guardian of everything you've seen, and everything you've become. Some part of you still belongs to it, and always will. You are different now. Not less human. Just, wider. Softer. Quieter. Still a sleepy astronaut. Still dreaming. Still drifting through the stars.